bigger than that. He's bigger than that. But he's moving pretty good, so it's gonna be interesting.
Last season, only Amari and Will Swinney actually returned a punt. Without Amari, at least for the first part of the season.
There's some guys that we'll use. Obviously, DK will probably be our leading candidate there. Obviously, Amari and DK will be our two top guys, and then there'll be some other guys that get in the mix. Maybe one of the young freshmen get an opportunity to try to project, see which one of those kids might be playing, and then find a role from that standpoint. And same thing probably for kickoff returns. You got Amari, you probably got Cornell, Linjay would be a guy that may be back there deep as you're starting out the season. But that'd be a role probably for DK to really take on and engulf, especially until we do get Amari back.
What did you see from him in the spring in terms of punt return? Because that can be something that can be kind of difficult to get used to. With
DK or Amari?
DK.
Do you
think some of your fastest offensive line?
I would think, from one year to the next, DK came in here and he's kind of like a wild Bronco a little bit. And the fact that, every time he touches it, it's electric. But it's going to go good or bad. It's either going that way for a long way or, he's liable to wind around. But the best thing I saw him do is make good decisions with the ball. For us to be effective, we've got to possess the ball first and foremost. And that's probably one of the hardest jobs in our game, is to get up under that punt return in front of 80,000 people and make a good decision with the ball. And the first decision is to catch it. And I've been real impressed with how hard he's worked in trying to build our confidence that he can make those choices. Whether to let it go in the end zone. Every play is not a home run play. You got to take what's kind of dealt with you and make good decisions with the ball, because we want to possess the ball and give it to our offense first and foremost. And if we're able to do that, and then able to add to that in our return game, that's going to be a plus. But the first thing you got to do is we've got to make sure we possess the ball.
Is this a unique situation for you? You've been doing this a long time to kind of go into a season
with an unknown
at tight end like that.
It is, but I've done that before. Another thing about it is it's not like we don't have good candidates. It'd be one thing if we were sitting there and say, hey, we don't have anybody. But we've got some kids that it's going to be interesting. And that's what I was telling somebody a while ago. The view's different when you get to the front of the sled. If I've been the back dog all the time and you don't know how they're going to react, we sat around here for years and dealt with lazy leg, and then all of a sudden he got to the front of the sled and the view became different. And so it's interesting to see how the view and which one takes that and runs with it. And it's interesting to watch JC. It's been interesting to watch Jalen Lay and obviously Davis Allen, Luke Price and J.L. Banks kind of do that. It's been interesting to watch Braden Galloway. He's had to take on another role, and how he's sometimes it isn't fair. How do you deal with it? Do you cry over spilt milk, or do you woe is me? Do you waller in pity and self-pity? And that hadn't been his style at all. He's not necessarily embraced it, but he's learning to deal with it every day and making the best of it.
What was that conversation like for you the day that it was officially announced?
Oh, we had known. I guess when I first heard it, obviously frustrated, and it's just like you're a parent. I mean, you're dealing with a situation where you've got a player or a child that you want to stand up for what's right, and it didn't go his way. And you can argue till you're blue in the face about the system and whether it was fair and whether it was not fair. And all you're going to do is just sit here and go round and round. And what could he do about it? You don't know. And then you let him vent some, and obviously you can vent some. But at the end of the day, you got a student athlete who's going through a tough deal, and you gotta embrace him. You gotta love him. You gotta let him. I guess vent to some of that. And then you got to get a plan with him, and you know, he knows you're in the foxhole with him.
With your other two guys, your two freshmen, like, what was your plan of attack this summer, knowing that you're going to have them ready to play this year?
Oh, well, you know, part of that is, you know, they've got to spend some extra time and getting as brought up to speed and in the playbook as he can. So that's going to require, you know, both of them being here, which they were. And then on top of that, they've got to allot some time in the evening, not only get to film, but volunteer themselves to get caught up. So, and they've both done a good job. So I look forward to getting started with them in a couple weeks and see where they're at, and then go meet them where they're at and bring them to where they got to get to. And that's going to be a fun challenge, and that's what I kind of look forward to.
I imagine it's going to be fun to see where Jalen's progressed or not.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. And then obviously Davis, and then obviously Jason Shaw. You know, look forward for him getting to see how he reacts to it. Being a leader, see where he's at that way. He's done a good job.
I don't know that we ever heard anything official. Did Garrett decide to give up football?
You know, I don't know where that's
still
at right now. You know, he had some knee surgery back a couple months ago, and he's been here this summer rehabbing his knee. But I don't know if there's been anything official yet.
Okay.
Either way, when he's playing.
Going back to DK for a minute, he's taken on a lot of roles.
My guy.
On this team, I mean, punt return.
You know, he's a good athlete. Have you been to a game when he touched that ball?
I've seen him.
Okay.
I mean, what is it about his makeup?
You know, he's a little bit, you know, like I said, you know, he's a little bit, I like him in the fact that he's a little bit of a risk taker. He's not scared to fail. That's what makes him really a good corner. And that's what makes him really a good wideout. You know, if the ball doesn't come to him, it's not the end of the day. And when you watch him at corner, he jumps over there and he has confidence in his ability. And when he does get beat, it's not the end of the world. He kind of lets it roll off his back and gets back in there. And today's kid, I mean, that's just a lot of them, dealing with failure and ups and downs and how those kids react is huge. That's huge even with my kids. But in today's kid, that's a big part of it, and he has an innate ability to compete. He likes to compete. You want to play tiddlywinks with him today? He'll play you, and he wants to win. And I think that's probably one of his, I guess if there's a hidden trait within that kid, I think that's it. You know, he likes to compete. He likes to win. He doesn't always win. He's not always successful. But you know what? He wants to line up and do it again. He wants to get it right. And I think that's what kind of makes him, as a coach, you're like, hey, give me that guy. You know, if I had one trait to say, hey, what do you want in a player at any position? Give me the kid that's a competitor. Give me the kid that wants to pull over and get sick when we lose on the bus before I do. You know, that's the kid we really want. And I think he embodies that, to be honest with you.
Sorry to talk about it, but what do you want to see from Jalen this fall season?
Jalen, I want to see him improve some from the spring. Obviously, he came with us. He's been here through a spring practice. He's been here through a summer. See how much he's retained. See what type of shape he's in. See where he's at mentally, and see how much we can do with him.
What were you most impressed by what you saw from him in the spring, and what does he need to work on?
You know, obviously, I think just getting here, I think the change from leaving home was big. You know, a lot of times, not only the media, but fans and people in general, you know, don't realize these are 17, 18-year-old kids who just left home. You know, it's a transition. Some people transition, you know, could have left when they were 12. Some people could have left, you know, still would want to stay at home. So, I mean, that's a huge part of it, being a student athlete. How does he handle the schoolwork? And, you know, he's done everything we've asked him to do since he's been here from that realm. And so I need to see him continue to grow, continue to learn football-wise. And then all of a sudden, once he has some success, build on his confidence. Build on that. Build on, you know, not only a successful block, but successful in you know, run routes and catch for us.
Obviously, he has a ton of raw talent, but are you in the spring? Did you just kind of start seeing him become a little bit more polished, and maybe in terms of route running and everything?
You know, I don't know if we ever got there in the spring where I could say he was. Obviously, he was better in practice